Yeah, Kirtana, you can proceed with your points.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Acid titration is quantitative chemical analysis, ma'am.
Okay.
வந்து
Your
either acid or base on determine பண்றதுக்காக acid titration.
your points were not clear. Can you say once again? Kirtana.
Ma'am, acid base titration வந்து quantitative chemical analysis, ma'am.
Quantitative analysis.
Chemical analysis.
Okay.
இது வந்து determine the either acid or base.
Okay. What kind of acid and base? What are the types of acids and bases?
Ma'am, 4 types இருக்கு, ma'am.
Okay. Say no. Mohan Raj, you can share your points.
ஃபோர் இதுல இருக்கு மேம். அதுல வந்து ஸ்ட்ராங் ஆசிட் அண்ட் ஸ்ட்ராங் பேஸ் மேம்.
ஓகே.
எக்ஸாம்பிள் வந்து HCl அண்ட் NaOH மேம்.
ஓகே.
செகண்ட் ஒன் வந்து ஸ்ட்ராங் ஆசிட் அண்ட் வீக் பேஸ் மேம். எக்ஸாம்பிள் HCl அண்ட் NH3 மேம். ஹைட்ரோக்ளோரிக் ஆசிட் அண்ட் NH3 அண்ட் வீக் ஆசிட் தேர்ட் டைப் வந்து வீக் ஆசிட் அண்ட் ஸ்ட்ராங் பேஸ் மேம். அதுக்கு வந்து எக்ஸாம்பிள் வந்து அசிட்டிக் ஆசிட் அண்ட் NaOH மேம்.
So which category of acids and bases are analyzed or quantitated by using aqueous method and which are analyzed by non-aqueous method?
மேம் அக்வஸ் மெத்தட்ல வந்து ஆசிடோ இல்ல பேஸோ அதை வந்து வைஸ் வெர்சாவா நியூட்ரலைஸ் ஆயிட்டு அதுல வந்து என் ப்ராடக்ட் வந்து வாட்டர் வரணும் மேம். சால்ட் அண்ட் வாட்டர் வரணும் மேம். அதான் அக்வஸ்ல மேம்.
Okay. Non-aqueous.
அது வந்து
so what kind of acids and bases will go with aqueous titration? Whether strong acid, strong base or weak acid, strong base, which category of acids will be analyzed by aqueous acid base titration method? Veerakumar. Say the difference between aqueous and non-aqueous. Why we need to go with non-aqueous titration? Veerakumar, Shilpa.
மேம் அக்வஸ் வந்து வாட்டரை வந்து சால்வெண்டா யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க மேம். நான் அக்வஸ்னா வந்து ஆர்கானிக் ஆசிட், எத்தனால், மெத்தனால் அந்த சால்வெண்ட்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க மேம். அக்வஸ்ல வந்து ஸ்ட்ராங் ஆசிட், ஸ்ட்ராங் பேஸ் தான் மேம் யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. நான் அக்வஸ்ல வந்து வீக் ஆசிட், வீக் பேஸ் மேம்.
Weak acid, weak base. Whether sample or weak acid can be titrated versus weak base in non-aqueous. What is the titrant used in non-aqueous? What is the standard solution used to quantitate weak acid or weak base in non-aqueous method? What kind of acid and bases are used as titrant? Titrant is burette content. What is the burette content in non-aqueous method? Don't know. Have you heard of
weak acid?
What ma? Weak acid? Weak
and base.
What is the titrant I'm asking? Whether you are saying about sample or titrant? Sample is weak acid or weak base. If your sample is weakly acidic or weakly basic, then we can go with non-aqueous titration method. Okay, where no water molecule is interfering in the titration. So in that case, what will be the titrant used in non-aqueous? Like in aqueous titration, either you will be using hydrochloric acid 0.1 molar or 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide, you will be choosing as titrant, right? Likewise, in non-aqueous method, what is the titrant preferred for analysis? Shilpa?
Acetic acid.
Uh-huh.
Acetic acid.
Acetic acid is solvent, right? Acetic acid is solvent. And we need to use acetic anhydride also. Hope you know the role of acetic anhydride in non-aqueous method. Whether you learned what is the role of acetic anhydride in non-aqueous method? Kirtana. Acetic acid is the solvent, okay? Like water, how we are using in aqueous, there acetic acid is the solvent in non-aqueous method. What will be the titrant used? Kirtana?
Ma'am, titrant வந்து lithium.
What pa?
Lithium methoxide.
Lithium methoxide. And alkalimetry will be going with lithium methoxide, right? In acidimetry, lithium methoxide is alkali base. Okay, whether lithium methoxide is strong base or weak base in non-aqueous method, either we can use lithium methoxide or sodium methoxide, whether this substance is weak base or strong base. Non-aqueous can be divided into two types, acidimetry and alkalimetry. If you use standard solution as acid, then it is called acidimetry. If you use standard solution as base, then it is called alkalimetry. So lithium methoxide, what she said is alkali, whether weak base or strong base it is. Prema, Kirtana, whether lithium methoxide is weak base or strong base in alkalimetry. Yeah, strong base. Good, Shilpam. It is a strong base. So your substance, if you take weak acid, that can be titrated through non-aqueous method using strong base. Weak acid versus strong base is done. And lithium methoxide and sodium methoxide are highly strong than hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide what you are using. Okay. And what is the titrant and acidimetry of non-aqueous titration? What titrant will prefer in acidimetry? Veerakumar, Mohan Raj. What is the titrant in acidimetry of non-aqueous titration method? What happened to Prema? She has left the meeting. Have you heard perchloric acid? What is the role of perchloric acid in non-aqueous method? Can anyone answer? What is the role of perchloric acid in non-aqueous method?
மேம் அசிடிக் நேச்சரா இருக்கிறப்போ புரோட்டானை டொனேட் பண்ணி மேம் அதை இது பண்ணும் மேம் ட்ரைடேட் பண்ண யூஸ் பண்ணும் மேம் ஈஸியா ட்ரைடேட் பண்ணலாம் மேம் புரோட்டானை டொனேட் பண்றது மூலமா அதை நியூட்ரலைஸ் பண்ணி இது பண்ணலாம். நீங்க சொன்ன அந்த இது
perchloric acid. Perchloric acid acetic anhydride.
perchloric acid மேம் அது வந்து புரோட்டானை டொனேட் பண்ணி
acting as strong acid. Proton bond என்னது acid.
acid தான்.
So it is strong acid and 0.1 molar perchloric acid will be using commonly for acidimetry in acidimetric method. It is used in non-aqueous titration. Whereas our alkalimetry, sodium methoxide or lithium methoxide is preferred. Okay. Now you
அப்புறம்
are
சால்வெண்ட் டைப்ஸ் ஏப்ரோட்டிக் அப்புறம் புரோட்டோஜெனிக் அதெல்லாம் இருக்கு மேம். புரோட்டோஃபிலிக், ஆம்பிஃபைட்.
That's what I thought to ask you next. What are the kind of solvents available? Say with
Aprotic.
examples.
மேம் ஏப்ரோட்டிக் வந்து எக்ஸாம்பிள் வந்து குளோரோஃபார்ம், பென்சீன்.
Benzene, okay. Which will not donate protons, right?
புரோட்டான்ஸ் மேம். அப்புறம் புரோட்டோஜெனிக் இருக்கு மேம். புரோட்டோஜெனிக்ல வந்து புரோட்டோஜெனிக் எக்ஸாம்பிள் வந்து ஹைட்ரோகுளோரிக் ஆசிட், அப்புறம் சல்ஃபியூரிக் ஆசிட் மேம்.
Sulfuric acid and all will donate protons. Then
அப்புறம் புரோட்டோஜெனிக் வந்து அமைன்ஸ் நினைக்கிறேன் மேம். அமைன்ஸ் என்ன அமைன்ஸ் தெரியல.
they can
so liquid ammonia
towards it. So amines can form ammonium salts, right? So that next
அதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஆம்பிப்ரோட்டிக் மேம்.
ஆம்பிப்ரோட்டிக்
அது நம்ம நார்மலா வாட்டர்னு நினைக்கிறேன் மேம். வாட்டரா யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். வாட்டர் தான் ஆம்பிப்ரோட்டிக் நினைக்கிறேன். ஏன்னா அதானே வாட்டர்.
So they all can act as both acid and base, means both protophilic and protogenic, right?
Protogenic, yes ma'am.
Okay. Now you can come for discussion on the title theories behind acid and base. Theories. What are the theories behind acid and base? To define what is acid and base, what are the theories behind it? Have you heard Arrhenius theory, Lowry-Bronsted theory, Lewis theory and all? Yeah, you can discuss each theory now. Define each theory for acid and base. Shilpa, Veerakumar, you are not answering only.
மேம் அர்ஹீனியஸ் தியரினா இப்போ வாட்டர் எடுத்துட்டோம்னா அதுல H+ வந்து ஆசிடாவும் OH- வந்து பேஸாவும் ஆட் பண்ணுங்க மேம். அது வந்து அர்ஹீனியஸ் தியரியில சொன்னாங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட் பிரான்ஸ்டட் லாரே தியரினா அதுல வந்து H+ வந்து புரோட்டான் டோனர் மேம். அதுவும் ஆசிட் மேம். H+ நாவே ஆசிட். OH- வந்து பேஸ் மேம். புரோட்டான் அக்செப்டர் மேம். acid base theory.
Your voice is not clear, ma. Say clearly about Lewis theory.
மேம் லூயிஸ் ஆசிட் பேஸ் தியரியில வந்து சோடியம் NaCl எடுத்துப்பாங்க மேம். அதுல சோடியம் பிளஸ் Na+ வந்து லூயிஸ் ஆசிடாவும் Cl- வந்து லூயிஸ் பேஸாவும் ஆக்ட் ஆகும்.
Okay. So which are all the cases we are following this acid base theory where Arrhenius theory is followed? Whether in acid base titrations we are following all these three theories or any one theory is followed? Which kind of theory you have observed through acid base titration method?
Arrhenius theory.
Arrhenius theory, right? H+ and OH- ion. Sodium hydroxide we are considering it as base since it produces hydroxyl ion.
அது அக்வஸ் தான் யூஸ் பண்ண முடியும்.
Water
aqueous water மெயினா யூஸ் பண்றங்காட்டி aqueous தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம்.
So in aqueous acid base titration we can follow Arrhenius theory. What about then non-aqueous method? What theory will be followed? Proton donor and acceptors. Observe and tell what kind of theories are preferred for acid base titrations. Arrhenius is followed definitely, right? In aqueous acid base titration, Arrhenius is followed. What about non-aqueous? Whether it is related with Arrhenius or Bronsted-Lowry theory or Lewis theory?
மேம் லூயிஸ் தான் வந்து நம்ம புரோட்டானை இது பண்ணாம, அதாவது புரோட்டான் டொனேட் பண்ணதா இல்லாம இது பண்றங்காட்டி நம்ம லூயிஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம் மேம்.
லூயிஸ் வந்து அயான்ஸ் பத்தி சொல்றாங்க இல்லையா? Na+ அப்படினா எலக்ட்ரான் பேஸ்டா வருது. எலக்ட்ரான் பேஸ்டா வருது. இப்ப லாஸ் ஆஃப் எலக்ட்ரான்னா அது ஆசிட், கெயின் ஆஃப் எலக்ட்ரான் வந்து பேஸ் இல்லீங்களா? அது நான்-aqueous titrationல உங்களுக்கு அந்த மாதிரி வருதா?
இல்ல அப்படி இல்லனா அப்ப லவ்ரி அண்ட் இதுல வந்து கான்ஜுகேட் ஆசிட் அண்ட் பேஸ் அது
அந்த மாதிரி தான் உங்களுக்கு non-aqueous வந்து related to Bronsted-Lowry theory தான் இல்லீங்களா? Proton donor and proton acceptor. இப்ப நம்ம
அப்ப கான்ஜுகேட் ஆசிட் பேஸ் யூஸ்
பண்ணா it will be donating proton, weak base na it will be accepting proton இல்லையா?
Yes ma'am.
அப்ப Bronsted-Lowry theory is followed in non-aqueous, where aqueous வந்து follows Arrhenius theory. Lewis theory is not much followed in acid base titrations. No. Okay, now let's move on with the discussion on indicators. This is the most important part in titration, right? So, what are the indicators for preferred for aqueous and non-aqueous? Indicators. We have discussed regarding samples, acid and base. If it is less strong acid, strong base, we'll be preferring aqueous or non-aqueous. We have discussed. And what is the titrant and all used? Also, we have discussed. You know the molarity commonly 0.1 molar titrant is preferred, right, for acid-base titration. Now let's move on with the indicators. What kind of indicators are used for acid-base aqueous and non-aqueous? And what are the theories behind acid-base indicators? We'll discuss about theories behind acid-base indicators and the indicators used for aqueous and non-aqueous titrations. Give examples and name the theories of indicators. These all titles already you have studied in PA1 in the first sem, right? So you can have
Ma'am, Ostwald theory, quininoid theory, two theories.
Ostwald theory and quininoid theory. These two are main theories behind the acid-base indicators. What Ostwald theory says, what quininoid theory says. What are indicators actually? Acid-base indicators. What is the nature of acid-base indicators? Whether they are acid and base or some other category of substance it is. Veerakumar fully silent, not giving any answers. Okay, say Kirtana.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, say about Ostwald's theory and quininoid theory. What is the concept behind it? And according to the theories, what is the nature of indicators? Say whoever knows, you can discuss here.
மேம் ஆஸ்வால்ட் தியரியில வந்து பார்ஷியலி டிசோசியேட் ஆகுதுல்ல மேம், ஜெனரலா அதுதான் மேம் சொல்லுவோம். வீக் ஆசிட்ஸ் வந்து indicators யூஸ் பண்றப்ப பார்ஷியலா டிசோசியேட் ஆகும் மேம்.
Weak acids, so indicators will be either weak acids or weak bases.
Weak base.
Acid or strong base or some other substance. Okay, definitely.
அது பேஸ் பண்ணி டிசோசியேட் ஆகும் மேம் aqueous solutionல. அப்ப நமக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஈக்குவலன்ஸ் பாயிண்ட் ஆகுறப்ப நமக்கு அந்த கலர் சேஞ்ச் ஆகும்.
Second, I'm getting a call. Okay, carry on, Mohan Raj. You can proceed now. Say about Oswald's
அதான் மேம் பார்ஷியலா டிசோசியேட் ஆகுறப்ப நமக்கு அந்த ஈக்குவல் அந்த பாயிண்ட்ல வந்து அந்த இண்டிகேட்டர் வந்து கலர் சேஞ்சோ இல்ல வேற ஏதாவது இது நம்மளுக்கு வந்து ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். அது மூலமா நம்ம ஈக்குவலன்ஸ் பாயிண்ட் இது கண்டுபிடிச்சோம்.
சேஞ்ச் வச்சு நம்ம எண்ட் பாயிண்ட் டிடெக்ட் பண்ண முடியும் இல்லீங்களா? சோ இண்டிகேட்டர்ஸோட மெயின் ரோல் டு டிடெக்ட் எண்ட் பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் டைட்ரேஷன் ரியாக்ஷன். இஃப் யூ டேக் ஆசிட் பேஸ்ல நியூட்ரலைசேஷன் process, ending of neutralization process will be detected by indicators. So the nature வந்து weak acid இல்ல weak base. Okay, it will be either of weak acid or weak base. If weak acid means in Ostwald's theory, according to Ostwald's theory, as he said, what are indicators means if you take weak acid or weak base indicators, it will be existing two forms, existing in two forms. One is ionized form, another one is unionized form. That is dissociated form and undissociated form. So dissociated form, it will be having one color, and undissociated form, it will be having another color, or it may be colorless. So it may exist either colorless or colored form in two conditions. Okay, so when it will be dissociated and undissociated means according to the pH condition. Some indicators and basic pH, it will be in unionized form. In acidic pH, it will be ionized form. So according to pH change, when we change the pH of the solution, indicators will exist in two forms, ionized and unionized form. So based on the color change in both the forms, we can observe the endpoint of titration. For example, what titrant is commonly used in aqueous acid base titration? Say one example. Phenolphthalein, you should have heard, right? Phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is a what kind of indicator it is? Whether weak acid or weak base. Whether phenolphthalein is weak acid or weak base. Phenolphthalein is the common indicator in aqueous acid base titration, right? Say whether it is weak acid or weak base. Weak acid. Okay, it is weak acid. So what condition it will be in ionized form, what condition it will be in unionized form, whether in acid or in base. You are adding to the solution. You should have done a titration versus hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. In which pH condition, in acid or in base, color of the pH, phenolphthalein, where it shows pink color. In which pH condition phenolphthalein shows pink color? And what is the nature of natural color of phenolphthalein? You are adding solution of phenolphthalein. What color it is? While adding what color it is, after adding to the solution, particular solution, either acid or base, what color it produces? Say the color change. Make it fast. Say Pamohan Raj, Kitna, Neerakumar.
Sir, phenolphthalein வந்து colorless liquid, ma'am.
Yeah, colorless liquid. So it is weak acid. She said already. Shilpa said it is weak acid. So it is acid. So naturally, in the solution form, it will be acidic. So in acidic, it is colorless solution. You told, right? So when it will be giving pink color, whether in acid condition or base condition, when you add the solution to your titration, either titrate or titrant, when you are adding.
Pink color, na?
Yeah, in base it will be giving pink color. In base it will be giving pink color. That means in acid it is in unionized condition. When it is going for ionization or dissociation, it gives pink color with the base. So at the basic pH in sodium hydroxide, phenolphthalein will get dissociated. So that is ionized form. It gives pink color. So that is what we can explain through Ostwald's theory. Okay, and what does quininoid theory says about quininoid theory? And one more example for weak base indicator is methyl orange. Okay, methyl orange also will be having two conditions, ionized and unionized condition. It will be existing in yellow and red color, right? So when weakly basic indicators you see, it will be stable in a weak base where it will get ionized in acidic condition. So reverse reaction of phenolphthalein you will find. Say about quininoid theory. What are the two stages the indicators will be existing in quininoid theory? Like Ostwald's theory, what are the two stages you can find for indicators during titration?
மேம் quinoid என்னன்னா கலர் சேஞ்ச் வந்து அந்த ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் இருக்கும் மேம். அத
So what are
பேசிக்கான
the two structures you can find? What are the two structures you can find?
Benzenoid and quininoid.
Benzenoid and quininoid. Okay, quininoid. So benzenoid is unionized form. When it is going for ionization, it will exist in quininoid form. Okay. Hope you know the structure of benzenoid and quininoid. So these are the two forms of indicators. Okay. During color change, during the titration. Like phenolphthalein, how it will exist when in acidic solution, it will be existing in benzenoid form. When it is going for ionized condition, basic condition, it will be converted to quininoid form since it is ionized. So that color change also occurs from colorless to pink. So these are all the two theories for indicators. Then say about indicators for non-aqueous titration. What are the common indicators used for non-aqueous? So for theories, you can have example of phenolphthalein and methyl orange. Now let's discuss about indicators in non-aqueous method. What are the indicators in acidimetry and what are the indicators in the alkalimetry? Say what are the common indicators in acidimetry and alkalimetry of non-aqueous titration method? Make it faster. Have you heard of crystal violet? Crystal violet. What is the indicator?
glacial acetic acid.
Acetic acid indicator.
அதான் மேம் 0.5% acetic glacial acetic acid தான் மேம் crystal violet யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம்.
Okay. Crystal violet is used as indicator. What other indicators in non-aqueous method are preferred?
Araset blue, ma'am. Araset blue.
Araset blue. Then for alkalimetry, what kind of indicators are preferred? Mostly for acidimetry, we'll be preferring crystal violet, araset blue, and all, right? Then what about alkalimetry?
Ma'am, red color quinaldin red and the use பண்ணலாம்.
Quinaldin red. Quinaldin red. Okay, good. So it is means indicators are differing from acid base indicators. Okay, normal acid base indicators. We are not using phenolphthalein or methyl orange here in non-aqueous. Non-aqueous indicators are different and it will be dissolved in non-aqueous solvents only. And next, okay, what are the applications? Can you say any drugs examples that is analyzed by acid base and non-aqueous, aqueous and non-aqueous titration methods? What are the pharmaceutical drugs are estimated?
Chlorpromazine.
Okay, chlorpromazine is what?
Methyl orange use பண்ணி methyl orange use indicator use பண்ணி chlorpromazine இது பண்ணுவாங்க.
Okay, what methyl orange is indicator? Say what kind of titration it is performed, whether non-aqueous or aqueous.
Ma'am, இது methyl orange இருக்கங்காட்டி அது aqueous-ஆ இருக்கும் ma'am.
Methyl orange நட்டி aqueous-ஆ இருக்கும். அப்ப chlorpromazine ஓட nature என்ன? Weak base or weak acid or strong base or strong acid or don't know. Say any other examples for aqueous acid base. You should have carried experiments also, no, using drugs, titration methods by acid base and non-aqueous. What kind of drugs or chemical substance you have used during your experiments? So similar kind of substances you may expect that can be titrated by acid and base titrations.
Ma'am, aspirin, ma'am.
Aspirin. Aspirin, which titration method?
Ma'am, aqueous acid base la use பண்ணுவோம்.
Aqueous acid base.
Phenolphthalein indicator
phenolphthalein indicator யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. அப்புறம் வேற என்ன டைட்ரேஷன்ஸ் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க? Say one example for non-aqueous method. Say one weakly acidic and weakly basic drug. Example of weakly acidic and weakly basic drugs. Most of the drugs are weak acids and weak bases only, right? So it will be maximum titrated by using non-aqueous method. That is why non-aqueous method is most important comparing with aqueous titration. Okay. And during deduction of endpoint, apart from indicator, in order to increase the accuracy of endpoint deduction, we can go with instrumental methods. Like electrochemical methods are followed, like potentiometry, conductometry, and are used for detecting endpoint of the titration. Hope you would have performed the potentiometry and conductometry. The same kind of principles are followed for endpoint deduction in titration analysis. Say any one drug, ephedrine hydrochloride. Have you heard ephedrine hydrochloride, sodium benzoate? These are all weak bases, can be titrated against perchloric acid. Non-aqueous acidimetry. So kindly check your notes for more examples and get recent updates on acid-base titrations. Okay, on what kind of pharmaceutical drugs are assayed by aqueous and non-aqueous. This type of questions only will be getting as MCQs. Okay, drugs examples that can be analyzed by non-aqueous and aqueous. Okay, so you may expect questions on what molarity of titrants are used, what is the strength of titrant, and what kind of samples can be analyzed. Example of samples that can be analyzed by each titration method. And then indicators, to find the indicators and its concentration, this all to be noted. And then what else? The theories and all you have to note down under acid-base titrations. Okay. Okay, now let's move on to spectroscopy. We'll discuss another 2 points under spectroscopy, what we have discussed in the last class. Along with that, I will have discussion on another 2 points now. Can you see the material? Hope you can observe the material now. Can you see it clearly? What are the points we have discussed in the last class regarding electronic spectroscopy? We have discussed the kinds absorption and emission spectroscopy. Absorption are UV visible and atomic absorption. Emission are fluorescence and flame emission. Here molecular level absorption is UV visible, molecular level emission is fluorimetry, atomic level absorption is atomic absorption, where atomic level emission is flame emission. And here we have discussed electromagnetic radiation, what electromagnetic radiation used, and light source monochromators. These are first 3 points we have discussed. Now let's see about sample cells or cuvettes. Once the radiation is chosen, after getting monochromatic light passing through monochromators, then the radiation will be passed next to the sample cell or cuvette. So that the next part of instrumentation or part of spectroscopy is, can you observe now, Pa? Observe the material window. So sample cells are cuvettes. Sample cells are cuvettes. Cuvettes are nothing but sample cells used in various spectroscopic techniques. Here, what is the shape of sample cell used is cylindrical or rectangular shape is preferred for UV visible spectroscopy. Cylindrical shape, like test tubes. You can imagine the test tube. So similarly, it will look sample cell also. Or it may be of rectangular shaped cuvettes, and it will be made with quartz material or glass cells. Okay, the cylindrical or rectangular cuvettes will be made with quartz or glass. When it will be made with quartz material, it is the material made, okay, for the sample cell. Quartz, when we will use, means in case of UV analysis, only UV analysis, when we use D2 deuterium radiation, D2 lamp, UV radiation. Since UV radiation will be absorbed by glass cells, we need to use quartz cells. If the radiation is absorbed by cuvettes, there will be energy loss occurs. So we cannot accurately measure the sample. In order to increase the accuracy, we need to use quartz cells during UV analysis. Then glass cells are preferred for visible analysis. Okay, glass cells we can use for visible radiation with a W lamp, tungsten lamp. And next will be for atomic absorption, what kind of sample cells are preferred, means cylindrical or flat bottomed, cylindrical flat bottomed glass cell, like beakers. Okay, it will be appearing like small beakers, cylindrical flat bottomed glass cells. Whereas for fluorescence spectroscopy, cylindrical or rectangular glass cells. In fluorimetry, we will not use quartz cells. We'll be using rectangular cylindrical glass cells. Cylindrical glass cells will be preferred in normal digital fluorimeters, where in spectrofluorimeters you can find the rectangular glass cells. Similarly, UV visible, normal digital calorimeters and all, you can find cylindrical sample cells, where in spectrophotometric instruments, double beam or sophisticated instruments, we can find rectangular quartz or glass cells. Like flame atomic absorption spectroscopy, in flame emission spectroscopy also similar type of sample cells are preferred, cylindrical flat bottomed glass cells. Okay, cylindrical flat bottomed glass cells are preferred. So this is about sample cells or cuvettes used in various spectroscopic analysis, in electronic spectroscopic analysis. And next point is phase of sample analysis. What nature of sample, when you are before analyzing, what will be the appearance of sample, or what phase means, it indicates whether it is solid phase or liquid phase or gaseous phase. So the solutions for analyzed by UV visible spectroscopy will be in the nature of monophasic single phase, the monophasic, colorless or colored diluted solutions. Colorless solutions will be analyzed in UV range, where colored solutions can be analyzed in visible range. Okay, so that is the difference. But in both instruments, we need to analyze diluted monophasic solutions. So this is about the nature of sample analyzed in UV. Monophasic, colorless or colored solution. Colorless, when we can use in UV radiation, UV range. In visible range, we can go with colored solution. If the solution is colored diluted solution, then you can choose from 400 to 800 nanometer for analysis. That is visible range. If it is colorless, then you can go with 200 to 400 nanometer, that is of UV range. Okay. Then in atomic absorption, also same monophasic diluted solutions are used. In fluorimetry, monophasic, only colorless diluted solutions are used. You'll be thinking in fluorescence means it will be colored solution, not colored solutions are analyzed. Here, colorless diluted solutions, monophasic colorless diluted solutions are used. And the concentration, comparing with UV, we need to use very less concentration in fluorimetry. Okay. And in flame emission also, it is similar to AAS, that is atomic absorption spectroscopy. Monophasic diluted solutions are preferred. So this is about phase of sample analyzed. Monophasic diluted solutions are analyzed. Listening, right? Okay. We'll discuss some more points. This. So the sixth point is. Okay. Can you listen to the class, Pa?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Since due to network issue, I couldn't find the window. That's what I asked. Then solvents used. Let's see about the next point. What solvent is preferred means polar solvents. Mostly you can see polar solvents in all the spectroscopic techniques are used. Since most of the drug materials are polar in nature, it will be definitely soluble in water. Okay. Since when we are consuming the substance, it must dissolve in solvent present in our body, right? That is water, so that it will be of polar samples only. So definitely all the samples will be dissolved in polar solvents. So what are the common solvents we'll be preferring for analysis is either distilled water and methanol. For UV visible, we'll be going with the water and methanol. Where for atomic absorption and flame emission, distilled water only. In fluorimetry also we can go with distilled water and methanol. Then concentration range. What range of substance we require for analysis means from microgram to milligram concentration. Microgram to milligram. Where titrimetric analysis you should have taken in gram wise, right? So milligram to gram wise we require for volumetric analysis. Where for instrumental analysis we require only microgram to milligram sample. Okay. So for all the spectroscopic technique, you can use the same concentration from microgram to milligram concentration. This is varying. This is higher in volumetric methods. A gram base we need to take. Around at least minimum of 100 milligram sample we require for analyzing in titrimetric method. Mostly you will be taking aspirin and all, you should have weighed 1 gram, like that in gram wise only you should have weighed the substance. So that much amount of drug we require, but here only in microgram to milligram drug is sufficient. If we have 10 milligram drug, it is sufficient to analyze. So that is about concentration of analysis. So we have seen from light source, monochromators, then sample cells, then phase of sample analyzed, solvent used, and concentration range. Remaining part we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. Then whether you have completed your biochemistry assignment as I have asked. If you have completed, then you can share here. I will stop sharing this presentation. You can share your assignment on biochemistry, what you have written. Only on one title you have written, right? Mohan Raj has written only on nucleic acids. What about other titles? The tabular column I said no. With the asked information you need to write, I said. If you have completed or what extent you have completed, the same can be shared here. So we'll have a discussion for next 10 minutes. For biochemistry. Kirtana, Shilpa, Veerakumar, have you prepared? Mohan Raj, if you have prepared also, you can share here. We'll have discussion on biochemistry. Biochemistry assignment.
Ma'am, lipids மட்டும் prepare பண்ணி அனுப்பியிருந்தேன் ma'am.
அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கீங்களா? Okay, I have not checked. Wait, let me check it and I'll download it now. I'll share with you now. Yeah, Sepa.
Kirtana.
Kirtana also submitted,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let me check. Shilpa's I have received. Kirtana I have not received. Once you submit, kindly inform me, okay, so that only I can check it. Okay, now I will share her assignment. Yeah, good. Shilpa has prepared nicely. So we'll have discussion on that. Regarding fatty acids, lipids, she has prepared. Cholesterol. Lipids only you have prepared, Appa? Shilpa?
Yes, ma'am.
Then who is preparing carbohydrates and other things?
Ma'am, carbohydrates, ma'am.
I didn't get you. Carbohydrate? Kirtana is preparing. But okay, I'll check her file. Now we'll discuss then Shilpa's assignment. Kirtana, once again you check it whether you have submitted. I could find only Mohan Raj and Shilpa's assignment in the group. If not, you share in the in the chat. You can share. That means in stream in the classroom itself. You can share your file. We'll have discussion in the next class. Now we'll have discussion on her assignment, lipids. So fatty acids, regarding beta oxidation, she has written beta oxidation macromolecules basic function, main source of energy in many tissues, heart and skeletal muscles. So beta oxidation is the source for energy. Actually, lipids, if you take, what is the common function is, it will be giving long term, or it will meet long term energy levels. If you consume fatty foods, you will be staying healthy or energetic for long period, unlike carbohydrate foods, right? So that is the main advantage of fatty materials, lipids. That how we are getting energy means through beta oxidation we'll get maximum energy of 129 ATPs. Okay. Then rate limiting enzyme here is carnitine palmitoyl transferase, CPT1. CPT1 carnitine shuttle, you should have heard, right? So that is the main rate limiting pathway in beta oxidation to limit the beta oxidation process, catabolism of fatty acids. Then what is the end product? Acetyl CoA. Acetyl CoA only final end product of beta oxidation. And metabolic disorders, when beta oxidation doesn't take place properly, we can get sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, then Jamaican vomiting sickness. Then clinical significance, during fasting or physiological stress, fatty acid oxidation act as the main source of energy. Okay. During starvation or when we require more energy, during that time beta oxidation will take place. Then what fatty acid will go with, say one example of fatty acid that goes with beta oxidation. What is the fatty acid, that is going with the beta oxidation process? Say one example. Whether saturated fatty acid will go for beta oxidation or unsaturated fatty acid. Give an example, Shilpa, you only can give. Since you have prepared, you will be definitely knowing the example of fatty acid. Have you heard palmitic acid? So palmitic acid is the best example, which will be having 16 carbon in it, that will be going with the beta oxidation process. And next pathway about ketogenesis and ketolysis. Here this will be, ketogenesis will come under anabolic, where ketolysis will be coming under catabolic process. And rate limiting enzyme is HMG CoA synthetase. HMG CoA synthetase is the rate limiting enzyme for keto bodies. Then it is not meant for ATP production. These pathways are not meant for ATP production. And the end product will be acetyl CoA. Then starting material is acetyl CoA. End product is ketone bodies. During synthesis, this is during catabolism. Ketolysis will lead acetyl CoA, where ketogenesis will give ketone bodies, acetone, beta hydroxybutyrate, and acetoacetate. From acetoacetate, acetone and beta hydroxybutyrate will be formed. And what are the diseases associated with ketone bodies generation? Diabetes mellitus, starvation, and ketonuria. This is very important. You will be getting question on ketone bodies. Okay. So when this will be occurring means during starvation and diabetes mellitus, ketogenesis and ketolysis will take place. Okay. Next about fatty acid synthesis, de novo synthesis. Rate limiting enzyme for fatty acid synthesis is acetyl CoA carboxylase, and it is anabolic pathway. Good. And it acts as storage molecules. Okay, fatty acids, lipid storage. Then it uses 7 ATPs, right? For synthesis, it will use 7 ATPs. Synthesis means it will be consuming energy. Catabolism, it will be releasing its consumed energy. So 7-ATPs will be utilized for synthesizing palmitate. Here she has focused the example of fatty acid, that is palmitate. So through de novo synthesis, palmitic acid will be synthesized, and through beta oxidation it will be utilized. Okay. And what are the deficiencies, and when fatty acid synthesis will be occurring? It is used for deficiencies of essential polyunsaturated fatty acid like linoleic acid. So during that time, fatty acid synthesis will be occurring. For main exam is acetyl-CoA carboxylase. Then regarding phospholipid synthesis, it is synthesis means genesis pathway, anabolic. Then starting material is glycerol, cardiolipinase, end product, rate limiting enzyme, phosphatidylcholine, right? Phosphatidylcholine transferase. Then metabolic disorder, Niemann-Pick disease and Farber's disease, formation and maintenance of the plasma membrane bilayer of cells. Phospholipids' role is maintaining membrane bilayer, lipid bilayer. Then cholesterol synthesis, it is very important. You will be asked with HMG-CoA reductase, that is the rate limiting enzyme for cholesterol synthesis, whereas HMG-CoA synthetase is rate limiting enzyme for ketone bodies, reductase is rate limiting enzyme for cholesterol synthesis. It is anabolic pathway. Here also acetyl-CoA is the starting material. For ketone bodies also acetyl-CoA is starting material, and for many pathways acetyl-CoA is the precursor. Okay. End product is cholesterol, since it is anabolic pathway. And what are the metabolic disorders we'll get when cholesterol level is increased? Means hypercholesterolemia, diabetes mellitus, hypothyroidism, obstructive jaundice, atherosclerosis, coronary heart disease. So related to all lipid disorders will be related to cholesterol level only. So, and it is maintained, this pathway is maintained and regulated by HMG-CoA reductase. Even drugs also you can find HMG-CoA reductase inhibitors related to HMG-CoA enzyme, focusing on HMG-CoA enzyme. Even pharmaceutical drug substances also are prepared and marketed for treating the various diseases caused by cholesterol. Okay. Precursor, even you should have studied in pharmacology this all. For treating hyperlipidemia, what are all the drugs? Then precursors to bile acid and maintain the cellular membrane rigidity and fluidity. This is role of cholesterol. Cholesterol will be combined with like lipoproteins. What are the lipoproteins? HDL, LDL, high density lipoproteins. Cholesterol will be combined with proteins. High density, low density, very low density, chylomicrons. These are lipoproteins. When the levels are increased, it will be indicating hypercholesterolemia. Where LDL is bad cholesterol, HDL is good cholesterol. Okay, HDL level should be high and LDL level should be low in that case. Okay. Bile acid synthesis, it is also anabolic pathway. And 7-alpha hydroxylase rate limiting enzyme. Cholesterol is the product, starting product. It will give glycolic acid, taurocolic acid. And it's the bile acids. Cholelithiasis is the disease caused by bile acids. Then act as elimination of cholesterol from the body. So cholesterol will be eliminated through bile salts formation. Thank you, Shilpa. Very nicely prepared. Very good.
Thank you.
This all only I have accepted. As I expected, you have prepared. Similarly, you prepare for nucleic acid metabolism, amino acid and protein metabolism, and carbohydrate metabolism. Similarly, you just prepare and submit. When time permits, you type this and send to me a soft copy. Okay, we'll file it. Thank you. It will be highly useful for others also. When you also can use, and your juniors or your classmates, those who are appearing for GPAT exam, it will be highly useful. Thank you. Okay, with this we'll stop today's class. So related to this titles, whatever we have discussed in volumetric analysis, pharmaceutical one part, in volumetric analysis we have discussed acid-base titration. So you will be getting questions from aqueous and non-aqueous titrations for the forthcoming mock test. And in instrumental method, spectroscopic method, you will be getting from the 3 or 4 points we have discussed today now regarding sample preparation, sample cells, phase of samples related to sample oriented topics we have seen in spectroscopy, that too in electronic spectroscopy. So regarding that you will get questions, and in biochemistry you will be getting question from lipids, what she has prepared. So kindly go through for mock test, this big mock test. Thank you all for cooperation. Whether Prema will be coming regularly or just she has attended the class, means put the attendance. I want to know the status about Prema since she has joined and she couldn't attend completely. Thank you, Pa. Thank you. Whether like this will go for the classes or you need any changes in the class, may I know? Shall we go like this, since we can cover all the topics? No, biochemistry also we are covering, analysis 1 also we are discussing, whatever you know, I know, we are discussing, having discussion, and it will be tested with mock test. And instrument also you are learning, all 3 parts we are learning, so you will not get bored for 1 hour, I think so. So definitely we'll go with the same pattern of classes in the forthcoming classes also. Thank you. If any changes you need, you can just focus here. Accordingly, I will adopt my classes. Nova, make it response. No reply, Pa. Okay, this is enough. Thank you, Mohan Raj. Okay, Pa, we'll leave the meeting. Okay then.